what if I told you the Montreal Canadiens were never really rebuilding, they were just reloading? Because right now, 10 games into the 2025-26 season, the Habs are doing something nobody expected. They're sitting at 7 wins and 3 losses, tied for second in the entire NHL, and playing the kind of hockey that doesn't look like a lucky start. It looks like a warning, a message to every team that counted them out, every analyst who said they were years away, and every fan who thought patience meant waiting forever. This isn't the same Montreal. This is a team that's done apologizing for the past. They're faster, sharper, hungrier, and for the first time in a long time, you can feel that something real is happening inside the Bell Center. But to understand how they got here, you have to rewind a bit, because this team didn't just wake up good. They earned this edge through years of pain, trades, and belief, all quietly building toward a moment like this, and that moment has arrived. It's almost poetic how fast things have turned. Just 2 seasons ago, Montreal was still being used as a punchline for what a rebuild looks like. 30 wins, inconsistent play, and flashes of brilliance that faded too soon. Nick Suzuki was still learning what it meant to wear the Cole Caulfield was trying to prove he wasn't a one-dimensional sniper. Juraj Slavkovsky was learning how to handle the pressure of being a #1 pick in a city that expects miracles every night. And yet, behind all of it, something was forming, an identity. When Kent Hughes and Jeff Gorton took over, they didn't promise shortcuts. They promised a foundation. They preached patience, culture, and structure. Words fans were tired of hearing, but words that slowly started to matter. By 2024-25, you could feel the shift. The rebuild wasn't about collecting prospects anymore. It was about teaching a group of young men how to win, and that's what makes this start so different. It isn't luck, it's timing. Everything that was supposed to come one day is happening right now. You can see it most clearly in the core. Nick Suzuki has become the kind of captain every team dreams of. Calm, calculating, and completely in control. He's not flashy, but his hockey IQ makes the game slow down for everyone else. Through 10 games, he's among the league's assist leaders, moving the puck with surgeon-like precision. Beside him, Cole Caulfield looks reborn. He's already tied for the league lead in goals, but it's not just the numbers, it's the energy. Every time he touches the puck, there's a spark. The Bell Center rises because they know what's coming. Together, Suzuki and Caulfield are what every rebuilding team hopes its prospects become. Not just stars, but finishers, leaders, and gamers. And then there's Slavkovsky, bigger, stronger, calmer, finally turning those flashes into full games of dominant play. He's winning board battles, holding the puck longer, creating space for his line mates. That top line, Suzuki, Caulfield, Slavkovsky, isn't just exciting anymore. It's dangerous. They're driving play, controlling possession, and defending better than ever before. For the first time, they look like a complete line, and maybe even one of the best in the league. Behind them, a blue line that finally looks balanced. Lane Hutson has arrived, and it's changing everything. The kid who turned heads at Boston University now plays NHL hockey like he's been here for years. He walks the blue line with poise, shakes defenders out of their skates, and finds passing lanes that don't even seem to exist. He's not just talented, he's controlling the rhythm of games. When Hudson's on the ice, Montreal looks more confident, more creative, more dangerous. And then there's Noah Dobson, the offseason acquisition that might have flipped the script entirely. Dobson brings exactly what the Canadiens were missing, a steady, two-way right-shot defenseman in his prime. He eats minutes, wins battles, and plays with a quiet confidence that lets Hudson be himself. That move wasn't just smart, it was symbolic. It said, we're done collecting maybes. We're here to compete. For the first time in years, Montreal's defense doesn't look like a weakness. It looks like the backbone of a playoff team. Every strong team needs more than a top line, and this year, Montreal finally has that. Ivan Demidov, the highly touted rookie, has wasted no time showing why he's special. He plays fearless hockey, pure confidence, no hesitation, and he's already putting up points. You can see flashes of brilliance every shift, from deceptive zone entries to ridiculous backhand passes that shouldn't be possible. Beside him, Alex Newhook looks rejuvenated, faster, more decisive, feeding off Demidov's creativity, and Kasperi Kapanen has found consistency again, rounding out a line that can change games in its its own way. Montreal finally has layers of offense. If Suzuki and Caulfield don't score, Demidov's line might. If Demidov doesn't, maybe the third line does. For the first time in years, it feels like opponents can't take a shift off. And maybe the most surprising part of all is what's happening in net. Jacob Dobes is no longer just a prospect. He's a problem for opposing shooters. 4-0 to start the year. League leading save percentage. He's calm, technical, and almost eerily composed. He doesn't need desperation saves. He's already in the right place. It's like Carey Price's spirit is still haunting the crease, but this time it's been reborn in a new form. Dobes might not be the next Price. He might be the first Dobes, and that changes everything. Because for the first time since that legendary goaltending era ended, Montreal looks confident from the net out. They trust their goalie, their defense, and their structure. And that belief is starting to snowball into something powerful. Every rebuild has a turning point. That exact moment when learning how to win turns into expecting to win. For Montreal, that shift didn't happen in one game. It happened in 100 small ones. It's the way Suzuki never slams his stick after a bad shift anymore. It's the way Caulfield's smile has turned from hopeful to confident. It's the way St. Louis looks behind the bench. Calm, focused, unshaken. Even when the team's down a goal. This group used to play with the pressure of proving people wrong. Now they play with the freedom of knowing they already have. And that mindset comes from Marty St. He's not your typical coach. He doesn't bark, doesn't punish, doesn't micromanage. He teaches. He understands what it's like to be underestimated, to be told you're too small, too late, too unlikely. He's turned that story into the Canadiens' identity. Every player on that bench is playing for something bigger than a win. They're playing to prove they belong. You can see it in how they battle back from deficits. Montreal leads the league in third period goals. That's not luck, that's belief. When this team goes down, they don't fold. They push harder. The Canadiens used to be a team that hoped for bounces. Now they create them. Marty St. has always said it. I want my players to think, not react. It's why Montreal's style feels different. It's structured chaos, organized creativity. Every rush feels dangerous because no one knows exactly what's coming next. Not even the players sometimes. When Suzuki slows the game down, he's scanning. When Caulfield cuts inside, it's because he knows where Lane Hutson will be before Hutson even gets there. And when Demidov attacks, he does it like he's writing his own highlight reel in real time. This isn't a system built on fear of mistakes. It's built on the confidence that if one guy slips, the next one covers. The Habs used to collapse under their own structure. Now they thrive within it, and that's why their games feel so alive. You watch them and it's not just hockey, it's personality. Every player adds their own signature to the ice. They play fast, but not reckless. They play creative, but not selfish. It's that perfect balance between artistry and accountability, and that's where you see St. Louis's fingerprints all over the place. He's turned this roster from a project into a philosophy, a system where effort meets expression. And when you combine that with talent this raw, you get something that feels unstoppable. That's what this 7 wins minus 3 losses start really means. It's not just a hot streak, it's a statement. For years, the Canadiens have been the league's patience project. Give them time. Wait until the kids mature. Maybe they'll be competitive by 2027. Well, time's up. The Habs have matured. The kids have grown up, and they're sending a message to the entire NHL. The rebuild is over. We're here to win. You can feel that message echo across the league. Opponents that used to take them lightly are getting ambushed by their speed. Analysts who used to talk about next year are starting to ask how far they can go this year, because when you beat elite teams with confidence, it changes perception fast. They've already taken down playoff caliber opponents, outshot top contenders, and done it all without playing desperate. They look ready, and that word, ready, what might be the most dangerous one for every other team in the league, because this version of Montreal isn't just playing for experience anymore. They're playing for respect, and they're earning it every night. The scary part? They're doing all of this without being close to their ceiling. Slavkovsky still hasn't fully broken out yet. Demidov is just scratching the surface. Lane Hutson is in his second full season. Dobes has fewer than 20 career starts. This isn't their peak, it's their beginning, and yet the results already look like something out of a Contender's playbook. Imagine what happens when Slavkovsky starts turning those near goals into actual ones, or when Hudson's confidence grows even more and he starts quarterbacking the power play like a veteran, or when Demidov's creativity gets unleashed in the playoffs, when every shift matters. If this is how they look now, what happens when it all clicks? Montreal's ceiling isn't just the playoffs, it's a legitimate run. And for the first time since 2021, the words Canadiens and playoffs don't sound like wishful thinking, they sound like inevitability. The Canadiens have gone from rebuilding to rebelling. They're playing with the confidence of a team that's been through the fire and finally found itself. Every pass, every shift, every comeback win feels like they're saying it louder. We're done being the future. We're the present. And the league is starting to believe it too. The rebuild's not over because they declared it. It's over because they proved it. With structure, with swagger, and with 7 wins in 10 games that no one can write off as coincidence. So here's the message Montreal is sending to the NHL right now. We're not rebuilding anymore. We're building a contender. And maybe the real question isn't whether the Canadiens are for real. It's whether the rest of the league is ready to deal with that reality. So I'll leave you with this. If this is just the beginning, what happens when this team fully realizes what it's capable of? Let me know what you think. Is this the year Montreal finally turns the corner for good? Or are we witnessing the start of something even bigger? Because one thing's for sure, the Habs aren't just back, they're making sure everyone in the NHL knows it.